All right. So welcome back to session number 2 of the Hwhatsit campaign, taking place in northern Ralia. Just to catch everyone up, last session, the players found themselves chained to each other as slaves laboring in the mines of General Garam Mashau. With the help of 2 NPCs, they were able to escape the tethers of Garam Mashau's slave camp. And when Milok, the half-orc man, mentioned that he thinks that the mine is rather a tunnel, you went straight through, and that ended up being true. And now you find yourself within some sort of strange druidic forest within the Druid Walls, a place where many steer clear from because of rumors of strange activity and old magic that lingers in this space. So you're kind of in an uncharted area. You emerged kind of at the bottom of this cliff that partially encapsulates the Druid Walls. You've noticed that these mountains look not so, they're like natural pathways and natural castles is kind of the way these mountains look, as though they were shaped from earth and rock by some sort of old magic spell. And you did end up emerging from the tunnel at the base of a cliff, and you found yourselves in this strange forest, and you were approached by a weird satyr fae creature, and it surprised you, and you made the split-second decision to vaporize it. So now here you stand.
It attacked us first.
Yeah, there is a attack as a word. There is a now this freshly slain weird satyr creature in front of you, and you've now escaped into the Druid Walls. And yeah, what do you choose to do now? We're kind of snapping back into focus after this intense conflict, the first conflict that you've encountered together, and here we are, picking up from where we left off.
How big is this creature?
Medium sized, maybe the size of Tippery.
The one that just got blown up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wipe its goo off my corpulent body.
Okay.
And did it explode or just like
it did crispy. Yeah. Yeah, it's a burn victim.
Ooh, does it appear to be cooked in any way?
Yeah.
No, blue rare would be a hopeful thought.
Still thinking I might want to bite that thing.
I rush up with, oh my god, oh my god, oh god, and I start shaking it, going, sir, and roll him over.
Okay. Yeah, this is good. So you roll him over. You can see kind of his weird beakish mouth. There seems to be feathers kind of protruding from, the skin around its eye sockets. Very strange, kind of griffin-esque satyr creature. And it is absolutely one honey pea dead. But what do you choose to do with that information?
I roll over and go, it's ugly. And I stand up and back away from it.
You make a perception check, kind of as you do that. Roll the corpse over.
Natural 20.
Okay.
All right.
So you actually see 2 things. Yeah, got it. Okay, a natural 20. So in what you would guess to be a 50-foot radius, you see these vines start to kind of stir and like fingers slowly creep towards the corpse. In addition, you see the corpse's what you can only describe as maybe its bones underneath its skin start to develop as kind of a bark-like texture as its skin starts to turn to more of a greenish hue than it was before and starts to become kind of fuzzy, almost as though you're watching some sort of weird mossy log decompose in front of you. Now, this is very slight. It's happening very slowly, but you are starting to see these effects take shape around you as you see these vines start to slowly creep in and this creature start to slowly become some sort of part of the forest.
Um, yeah, I still just keep going. You, back
Okay.
away.
Okay. So just to be clear, you are not relating this to your companions.
No.
Okay.
This stage.
All right.
Perfect. Roast damage.
I'm just kind of standing there, like sparks from my fingertips, and like because I'm just so happy I got my power back.
Yeah, for sure. Huge deal. Huge deal. All right, so Tippery's kind of freaking out. Anybody else doing anything in particular?
Skrunk says in Draconic, kind of questioningly to Oz, pointing at this thing, and he goes, food?
I was gonna like looks at Strunk and then looks at the corpse, like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Fair enough. I'm gonna go take a bite out of this thing.
Okay. You go, you start to take a bite of it. Give me a perception check as you approach it.
6.
A 6, okay, cool. So yeah, I mean, it totally could be tasty. Totally normal the way it looks. Nothing is out of the ordinary. This is some sort of bird, and you've had bird before, and it doesn't really need to be all that good cooked, that well cooked. You've eaten raw bird, so it seems like a pretty good idea. So you start to munching down.
I rush him.
You notice that so does Millock.
Okay, cool.
Millock the orc man.
Yeah, I go, Scrunk, no! Scrunk, no! And I start to point into the woods, and I'm like, the vines, it's turning into dirt.
Okay.
It's not, don't eat it, Scrunk, no!
Okay. That triggers the rest of you to kind of look around at some of these vines kind of twitching and slowly starting to travel towards the corpse. You don't fully notice unless you're very close to it. And Scrunk, you notice absolutely nothing. You don't really notice the mossification of the corpse. But as Millock draws closer, he kind of puts a hand on Skrunk's shoulder, looks over to Oz, and says, "I don't speak the boy's language, but you might want to explain to him that this might not be the best idea."
I look at him and like I say to Scrunk and Draconic, they say you shouldn't eat it.
I just sigh, really sadly.
All right. Well,
I say, so you're not tempted, go and throw it in the woods or something.
What was that?
So you're not tempted, go and chuck it in the woods.
Oh. And I just yeet this fucking thing.
all right.
I want to see what the vines do, if they keep going for it, or if like they just grab it and drag it in, or what exactly. I'm doing some experimentation here.
That's a wonderful call. So Scrunk, give me a strength check.
Natural 2.
Okay.
For a total of 6.
All right. So this corpse is oddly hard to lift, given the kind of its bird-like nature. It would seem that you should be able to just kind of yeet it. And you certainly start to kind of pull it apart. You're a strong boy, but you notice that a lot of it kind of stays stuck to the ground as if something is kind of pulling against you. And you do now start to notice that as you pull it apart, it's kind of like pulling at a rotten log. Millock approaches and he goes, whoa. Let us take a second and understand the situation. And he kind of does something kind of strange. He kind of places his hand onto the corpse and starts muttering some words under his breath.
Millock is muttering something under his breath.
Yeah. He's just kind of, it seems as though he's praying over the corpse in some way. You don't really know this guy very well. He's doing his thing.
I'm gonna roll a knowledge religion to discern what kind of prayers is he laying down.
Yep.
All right. 10.
Okay. Okay, so you can recognize that this is ritualistic in nature. It's not something that you recognize. It's not something that you would associate with one of the three main gods. But as he kind of finishes his prayer, he looks up and he says, I think we've done something wrong. I'm not sure if it was attacking. It's almost like it was warding or warning against something. I think we should get out of here.
Well, and you should have used its words.
And Yagan scoffs and he says, the thing's fucking dead.
You're gone. You're gone.
Let's move. And then he kind of licks his finger, looks up at the way the sunlight is kind of creeping through the canopy of the forest, points in a direction and says, northward, and starts just walking that way.
So the corpse is just barely in the woods.
Yeah. So you're kind of at the foot. You're kind of at the foot of these of this cliff, and there you are. Northward, he's just pointing straight ahead. And essentially, what we've got going on here is a forest, right? I've set some things up loosely. We'll theater of the mind it, and then we'll place. We'll place according to the situation. But it's kind of you're just in this creepy forest.
As the party is departing, Tifri discreetly goes over and folds the little grasshopper man's arms over himself in a aerial pose.
Yeah.
And then finds
the grasshopper bird.
Two small stones or whatever and puts them on his eyes. There's the barest minimum amount of like honoring a corpse and moving on.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's a wonderful way to honor the dead. I'm picking out some minis here. You should give me another perception check, modify it by +2 as you do that.
Right. Nice. 2. Perception is based on wisdom, so I think a -1, so it's really a +1, 18.
Wonderful. That's the DC. You see some footsteps. As though if you had to guess, and it's strange that you would know this considering who you are, but it's like someone was trailing a like prey through here. It's like a hunter was, trailing some sort of prey animal through here, and it leads in the direction that Yagan pointed.
Okay. I go down to a kneel on the ground.
Yeah.
And I run a finger through the dirt. I'm just rubbing my finger. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Then I look around.
Okay.
Waiting for someone to ask me a question.
Okay. Does anyone acknowledge Tifui's whatever the fuck this is?
You
More
just
than 10
hear.
seconds goes by, I go, interesting again.
I look at Tiffery and I say, what is it? What is interesting? What do you possibly think is interesting?
Oh yeah, I was just doing some twacking. I used to go twacking with my dad, my father. We would do duck hunts.
Those stones in its eyes aren't going to keep it from coming back. You know that, right? That's a fairy tale.
It's mean. So anyways, I would run with the dogs to retrieve the ducks. And I know pretty good at twacking. And there's some twacks here. Like a lot of twacks.
Abhorsen, is this the first time you have approached the corpse?
It is.
Okay. So you in particular, feel a strange sort of dark energy. And if you could please roll a sense motive check.
That is a 13.
Okay. You feel something wrong, like a sense of violation, in the area that you would say that this corpse is kind of the center of this area of darkness and violation.
Uh, can I roll a knowledge? Do I have knowledge nature?
A
Hang
spellcraft
on.
check would also suffice.
May I roll a spellcraft check?
You absolutely can.
That is going to be a 19.
19 spellcraft check. So you notice in the direct area around this corpse, radiating from the corpse, a fading of magic. And this magical aura that you ascertain is the weakest of the auras is enchantment. The strongest is abjuration. However, neither of these auras are particularly strong at the moment, and they are fading fast.
As if they're dissipating from the beast upon its
Correct.
death, or okay. That its ceasing to live has dispelled these auras.
It's the ceasing to live has not dispelled them, but rather is rapidly causing them themselves, the auras, to cease to be.
Gotcha.
Might relate to the feeling of some sort of dark violation.
Yeah. Whatever this thing was, wherever it came from, it's fallen apart now. And Tiffery, I don't think you're prepared to handle this.
Whatever's happening, Tippery, I don't think you're gonna be okay.
I'm still, squatted, mostly naked, wearing a loincloth, and was feeling pretty good about my finding something tracking. Like, oh yeah, I used to go hunting with my dad. And he would yell at me a lot. Look, I found something. You say that, just I am crestfallen.
Negative self-esteem.
Yeah, it really is like, oh, you've seen who I really am much quicker than I thought.
Yagan mentions
Is that the mode of this group where we all just like take Tiffery down? Hey,
yeah, I think that's ideal.
It's like they're new people. They're gonna love me. I'm gonna be a whole new. Oh, they know. They figured it out.
They can tell. They can tell due to my general demeanor.
Yeah.
So okay. So Yagan kind of pipes up at this point and he says, like I said, north is that way. We still heading north towards the river.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Start heading out that way.
So as you start walking, Milok and Yagan both mention, as the NPCs, that it might be a good idea to look for something to defend yourselves with. So Yagan kind of goes off into the forest and snaps a tree limb and kind of tests it on his palm, and he develops a club. Milok kind of does the same, and they encourage you to see what you can find.
Who's got the knotted rope?
Yeah.
Yeah, Skrunk had that. Not that he wants it.
Skrunk, I'll have my cat's cradle back. Thank you very much. I reach out my hand and I take my knotted rope from Skrunk.
Perfect.
You've got natural attacks.
Yeah. So currently, Milok and Yagan have kind of found half walking sticks, half clubs or quarterstaffs that they can use. And the rest of you, kind of continue moseying onward. You're encountering some pretty difficult terrain. So if we ever get into initiative order, you are all at half movement due to the completely unsurveyed nature of these the forests within the Druid walls. Distinct from the Druid forest, oddly enough. No one comes here. People hunt in the Druid forest. So
I keep my eyes out for something to place between my fleshy body and any threat.
Yeah. Okay. So at this point, anyone who wants to roll a perception or a survival, feel free to do so, and we'll kind of get an idea of what you find to arm yourselves with. All right. 13. With 13, so a 10 or higher yields you essentially the same result that Millock and Yagan found, if you choose to look for anything. So it's essentially just like a sturdy wooden club. No. Okay. Let's say that you pick up kind of a piece of bark.
Yep.
And you're like, I'm gonna use this as a shield.
Yeah.
And Oz kind of pokes you on the back, and you go like, what? And he just kind of like takes a loose section of the bark and just essentially just rips your shield apart.
Yeah.
So you're still just barehanded out here in the wilderness alone. You have people with you, but you're alone.
Yeah, I start to walk more the center of the group as we progress, and
Yeah.
find more things.
All right, perfect. You in particular, give me another survival check to see if you can follow the tracks. You know that you were headed in the same way that you thought they were going.
You said survival?
Yeah.
30.
Okay. So you've lost track of the tracks along with your confidence.
Oh, I just lost that.
Yeah, just now. You started to gain it back just a little bit, but you seem to have lost it. As you press deeper into the forest, you all hear kind of around you a sort of rushing scraping, as though someone is running through the brush. And indeed, you see an elven woman rushing through the brush.
Do
Oh,
I hear the low guitar of Creedence Clearwater Revival playing? Run through the jungle.
Oh, yeah, sure. You absolutely hear that, Greg. So you kind of see her. She's about 50 feet out, and she is running towards you swiftly. Do any of you at this point choose to do?
We all see her.
Yeah, totally. Not a perception check. She's fucking like charging through the forest. She's not trying to be quiet. You straight up see this kind of figure run through.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
No,
I start whirling my rope around in a whirly knotted rope fashion.
I cast prestidigitation to give myself some calm.
Okay, nice. Hell yeah, just in case. So yeah, you see is that Tiffany?
Yeah, pick the fast one. Feels right.
Well, the dwarf.
I think the dwarf is Tiffany. Who's the giant fat guy?
Yeah, Millock.
Millock, yeah. Okay.
Skrunk?
No. Tiffany's an eraser.
Okay.
My choice.
Okay. All right, cool. So let's
Just
put this here. So yeah, this will be Millock. This will be Yagan, and then the player characters and your racer. She comes running, and as she gets closer, you can see that she is burnt on one side of her entire body. Her flesh is sloughing off, and she is pretty ripped to shreds.
Gross.
So she approaches you, she sees you, she runs to this point, her eyes wide, she makes eye contact with Abhorsen and says, "Help
I
me!" and collapses.
I allow the whirling rope to slip from my fingers and fly over the back. As I rush to her side in one motion, kneel down, touch her forehead, and cast Cure Light Wounds.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So as you see, let's hear the number real quick. There's an immediate effect, however.
Hi. Hey.
Just showing off the new chest.
Hi.
Look at the new chest.
It's 1d8 plus 6.
+1.
+1.
1d8 plus 1. 7.
Okay. So you see these kind of puncture wounds on the non-burned and burned parts of her body start to kind of heal up. And it looks as though they were like all the way through her, almost like if we were to put it in modern context, she got shot a bunch of fucking times. So she's kind of, healing these wounds. But one thing that you see that doesn't seem to be healing is this strange burn that almost is like a campfire after it goes out. So it's not like a fleshy burn. It's like her body is turning to carbon and ash. And that continues to slowly creep up. And she says, I haven't much time.
Oh, no.
I see all this and I just like walk past her and look, trying to see what she was running from and if it's coming.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. As you do that, Abhorsen, she kind of leans into you and whispers into your ear, they woke. The blood roots.
Oh no.
They woke. They come. And she kind of falls back and you see this pattern slowly start to creep up her throat and her eyes go wide and her mouth opens and it creeps over her lips and in back down her throat. And she kind of starts to heave and then you can sense no more breath inside of her.
The blood roots. They've awoken.
Yeah.
And she is dead. And the burn, the fire that is like pulsating inside of her, does it continue to like pulse and burn, or does that go out as well?
It goes out as well. And at this point, indeed triggered by Oz stepping forward and past her. And Oz, you are this guy?
I don't know something.
You're this guy. Sure. You need to make a reflex saving throw. And Abhorsen, you do as well. 20? Nice. Okay. Abhorsen?
7.
Okay, so Abhorsen, you become entangled.
Oh.
As the spell entangle.
Skrunk would like to
Oh fuck.
Kneeled by the corpse of this woman, I'm entangled.
Yeah.
What is entangling me?
Everything beneath you. It seems to have, I mean, it's already alive, but it seems to have taken some sort of animated form as the vines kind of constrict around your legs to the knee, not rising up to the thighs, but you cannot walk. You are not bound to the ground, but you cannot at this moment walk. Now you notice this happen. The difficult terrain is nothing new for you. You move at half movement, but you do succeed in knowing where to place your feet. At this point, roll initiative.
I'm doing all pretty good. Bareback here.
Okay.
Can't do anything.
You couldn't. I was hoping you'd find a club.
Does the elven woman have anything on her?
Okay.
Weapon? Sword, perhaps?
Yeah, she
A
absolutely.
shield on her back?
She absolutely fucking has something on her. It's just a matter of are you going to search her right now?
Don't you think?
I mean, if she's got a like long sword, she's not hiding it somewhere.
Yeah. No, that's
Like,
fair.
what can we see?
That's
I'm kneeling next to her, disfigured corpse, and now I'm back.
Okay. She does have a loot table, so just give me a.
It's a loot table.
No, I'm just kidding. I wrote it down.
And now I'm bound through this,
Roll a percentile die. Let's see what she's got.
No. She has her name's Kensira, but you guys didn't think to ask.
She died.
She died, man.
Hey, what's your name?
So she has a
Hey, baby, you come here often.
she has a longsword strapped to what a pom no, not a pommel. She's got a scabbard with a longsword in it. Obvious longsword due to the length. Might even stretch to the point of bastard sword.
All right. Is she wearing
It's currently
boots?
still sheathed.
Is she
yeah,
wearing?
yeah, totally. She's got leather armor on. Basic leather armor.
I mean, we're in initiative order, but
Yeah.
where in initiative order are we?
So anybody above a 15.
No.
All right.
Well, let me roll for Malin.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody above a 10?
13.
13. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Anybody above 5?
Oh. 9.
9.
I got a 5.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. And everybody else?
Malin got a 5. I'm sorry.
Okay. Cool. So let's say that Skrunk, you go before Malin. Okay. So you see some things appear here in the surprise round. Namely, this guy, this guy, and this guy. So what you see, these aren't great minis. These
fuck you, man.
hold on. These two that kind of look like creepy crawly undead dudes are like weird root structures that seem to have like some sort of like carnivorous beak plant heads with like like petals around their heads. They just look like super creepy creepers. And then the one in the middle kind of looks like a beast made of shadow who's wearing bark armor.
Beast shadow. So not really anything with humanoid.
The one of shadow is kind of looks humanoidy. This one just looks like a vine creeper though, and it runs up to Oz and attacks. All right, that's going to be a 19 on the die, or sorry, not a dirty 19.
That will hit.
All right. All right, you take 3 points of damage, and it rolls a 4 on its CMB. So it, you feel it try to grab you, and that doesn't seem to work. Oz, it is your turn to likely vaporize this thing.
Well, I'm at 0 hit points.
We didn't rest.
Oh, fun. Okay.
I mean, we rested, but we gained 1 hit point back for 8 hours of rest.
Oh,
because
perfect.
we're level 1.
Did we rest?
I think
We
yeah,
rested.
yeah.
In the
you,
cave.
you rested before.
You
Right,
rested.
but what I mean is we didn't rest after you exploded the
No.
grasshopper boy.
Okay.
So the thing is, if I attack it, I immediately take 1 point of damage.
Yeah.
And go unconscious.
Yeah.
So, and I can't full withdrawal because I'm staggered, so I can only take 1 action. I can't take a full round action. And I can't 5-foot step because it's difficult terrain.
It is difficult terrain.
You're in a pickle.
So I'm gonna take a total defense action and raise my armor class by 4.
Okay. Perfect. Tiffery. Yeah.
When did we take damage?
You.
Scarabs in the mine.
Oh
Do we know
yeah,
how
there was
much we
fucking
took?
scarabs in the mine. Yeah,
So
totally.
I'm now working off like I actually have hit points, and like the last session we had all had like 5.
I don't know how much damage you guys took. I took 5 points of damage, and then you did 3 more points of damage to me, and now I'm 0.
I did just do 3 more.
So I'm gonna say I have full hit points.
Okay.
Which is 15.
Damn.
You can check it later.
Tiffery's about to fucking do some shit.
No, I can't do anything. I'm just an infinite. I walk as close as I can to the edge of this to Abhorsen, and I hold out my arm and I go, "Take my hand!"
Nice.
And I hold my action to pull you out.
Okay.
when
Perfect
hand is
timing.
taken.
Abhorsen.
I am on top of the corpse of the woman that just died, the elven woman.
Yeah.
I take a full round action to strip her armor and boots, put it on me, and take her sword.
That is, I'm sorry.
No.
There's 6 seconds here. You cannot doff her armor and don it. If you want to take a full round action, I will say, and not to play your character for you, but this would be an option. Given the new opportunity you've got from Tiffery, you can grab the sword out of the scabbard. And,
All right, I accept.
and-
I kind of saw that coming.
and I'll even and reach towards Tiffery, and I'll even give you a chance to try to oppose the grapple of the entangle. So if
All
you
right.
want to roll an opposed check to see if you can wiggle free of the grapple, and that would
Tiffery the option to what do you call it? Like
assist.
Check to assist.
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right,
DC 15 for Tiffery.
I grab the sword by the handle from the scabbard and I attempt to make a grapple break. 10 on the die, and do I get a
It's your CMB
Yeah, I'm just adding that. So
third for a total of 13?
for a total of
And
13.
then Tiffery does
Tiffery.
Okay, cool. That's it. You are no longer grappled. Tiffery, at this point, it would trigger your action to pull out. So Abhorsen has been released from the entangling vines. That ends Abhorsen's turn. Slots Tiffery in behind Abhorsen.
First time Tiffery's ever pulled out.
yeah.
Wait. Wish your dad had, bud.
Fuck.
Wish
So mean.
Wish your dad had.
I look at Tiffery. I don't say that.
Yeah.
I say, I have a sword.
Go get him, champ! And I slap you on the back with the sweatiest hand.
So this guy approaches, seemingly completely ignoring Oz, and kind of comes up to the corpse of this woman and goes like, kind of like reaches a hand forward, and you can see that pattern start to creep a little bit quicker, and you can see her skin start to grow moss, and it is though her bones are turning into some sort of bark-like texture as she appears to rot like a tree. Scrug.
Can you point him out for me?
Scrunk. Ratchia.
Skrunk will move to try to get in front of
Action is behind a tree.
Tiffery and Abhorsen.
Yeah. And just so you guys know, like, we kind of placed you here. I'm okay with a little bit of freedom of movement kind of until you get into combat, just because you didn't choose where you were. You said you want to be in between like near Tiffery and Abhorsen?
Yeah, if I could try to like put myself in front of him.
Okay.
And then how far is it into the shit
Nice.
to hit someone? I guess is my next.
It is about 10 feet further into the ship. And I will give you the opportunity to move that 10 feet and still perform a standard action. Again, just because you deserve the opportunity to get into the fight if you want to. I didn't put your mini in an ideal place. And that goes for everyone who's outside of the entangle.
Okay. So let's see. Where and can you point out where Oz and that thing is?
Oz is right there. This is the thing that attacked him. This thing hasn't acted yet. These are the same. And this is the creepy shadow man wearing bark armor.
Mm. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna go for it here. I'm gonna look at Oz, and I don't know if Oz looks back at me, but you just see like something fucking change in this brainless lizard. He screeches an ungodly noise and just fucking charges into this shit. So he's blood raging and he's just fucking going for the thing that attacked Oz.
The thing that attacked Oz. Okay. So I will let you get to there or there. Do you want to be right next to Oz, or do you want to be kind of catty corner like that?
I'll do that.
Okay, totally. So you'll roll a reflex save.
That is a reflex save of 18.
Okay, cool. So it's difficult terrain for you now, having entered the entangled area. However, you are not stopped from moving. So you can make a standard action at this point.
And I guess just to clarify that, I can do all my natural attacks.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just fucking going for this thing. So first claw is a 14 to hit.
14 doesn't appear to hit.
Okay.
Just real quick, hold on. Sorry, Jake. Your full attack is claw bite.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we were house ruling that we would let
Natural attack, yeah.
well,
just like
no, like one a move and then 2 attacks when you're dual wielding.
Yeah.
Do you want to let him do 3 attacks after a move?
Yeah, we talked about it. It's just like if like a panther or like a beast.
That there is a feat called Pounce that allows you to do that.
Okay.
So it's just a question of like, do you want to let him do something without a feat that usually costs a feat?
Yeah, fuck it. I didn't realize that you were going to be out of the fight. Let's just let that happen and it'll be part of a conversation going forward. Okay. But for now, just fucking lay into this goddamn thing.
Okie dokie. The next one here is an at 20.
Okay.
Wow.
I'll caw. I'll just I'll give you an action now to confirm that one.
Perfect.
Not even gonna roll it, and then I'll do the bite attack. Goddamn, another nat 20.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. 2 nat 20s in a row. You don't need to give me an action die. You take a +10 on your confirmation roll.
Okay. That was a 12 on the confirmation roll.
Okay.
Like without any adders, just on the die there.
So you did.
Okay.
You quit twice.
Oh my god. I'm excited. Okay. So the claws. Up. 19 on the claw.
19 points of damage on the claw. Okay.
Yeah. And then,
this thing doesn't look like it's gonna survive your next attack.
And then the bite is
Murderize it.
Nice. Good intro, Glenn.
Yeah. The voice.
From the void.
Century.
17 on the bite.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, you don't know what happened, but this thing appears to vaporize.
Damn.
Just because you got 2 crits, not because it is prone to vaporizing. But whatever the fuck that was, do that again. Let's move onward to Malin. Perfect timing.
Yeah, so I guess I'm just trying to catch up. Am I in the weeds there? And
Hell no. So you are. Oh shit! I moved the wrong fucking thing.
That's
the lizard focus is scrum.
right.
Yeah.
And then how many enemies, how many foes are in there?
Yeah. So this guy is you. All right. This is a circle of entangling vines. There's a weird like shadow being that appears to be regaled in some sort of armor that is made of bark, and that's right there. Oz is right there. If he takes any more damage, he will pass out. There's this weird elven woman who seems to be decomposing in front of you. This is a strange living vine that is attacking. Your friend just killed one. This seems to be the main aggressor right now, other than the thing that just died. But keep in mind, this green circle is a circle of entanglement. So once you enter, you're going to need to make a save to move further.
Also, a point that's probably important to Malin is for the first time since you guys have escaped, you see a weapon.
Yeah.
I was curious if I was just had my claws or what.
No, Orson has a long sword, and
I have a sword.
Yeah,
bastard
take
sword.
A little time to explain this sword. It is a rather long sword, and it is strange in that the very edge of it seems to be made of wood, but the rest of the sword is made of metal, as though the metal is encased around this this edge of wood.
Okay. Apologies for being late, but I think we'll just get right into it and try to attack the. Well, where's the sword at? And I'm going to ask.
That person has the sword.
I am holding the sword. I am the sword.
5 feet away from you.
Could I use your sword?
This is my sword.
All right. So the sword is of no use to me.
You were able to find a club. You have a wooden club that functions as a club in the weapon set of the game.
Well, I will go to club the barked up intruder, the big baddie.
Okay. So as you move into this area, you are able to get there. But if you'll give me a reflex save, please.
Alrighty. There's a 13 on the die. Reflex. I don't have a reflex.
It's your dexterity modifier?
Oh, yeah.
Nothing else?
It's 13.
Just a 13? Okay,
yeah.
So you become entangled. You cannot move, and you feel as though others can hit you easier. However, given that this kind of bisects one of the squares, I will allow you to reach the strange shadow creature and attack it.
Cool. That will be a. Oh, that was a 2.
All right, so that's going to be a big swing and a miss. Dan asked, are you activating your rage, maybe especially after this biff?
I hadn't activated the rage yet. But
it's a swift action activation.
Free action.
Yeah,
free action activation.
Yeah, that would infuriate me, and I would now be raging.
All right. So as Malin proceeds to whiff, it brings up one of the enemies here. They seem unencumbered by the entangling vines. and this strange vine creeper approaches Scrunk and lashes out at Scrunk. Okay, does a 6 hit?
Does not, but it's honestly not that far away.
Okay, all right. So that really doesn't work out too well. Yagan screams in terror and begins to run this way. And Milok approaches Abhorsen and says, what are we doing here? As we go into the blood root that is dead, and it moves on to Oz. Oz, do you desire to do anything that might take you out?
At this point, seeing the guy right next to me who's like muttering some fucked up incantations and seems to be the source of this.
Yeah.
I say, oh, you're the source of the bullshit. And I'm going to cast defensively. Yes. Action die.
Love to hear it. You love to hear it.
Use my second action die.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I successfully cast defensively.
Perfect.
And then there's a touch attack.
Yep.
And well, superb. So I'm gonna use my last action.
Yeah.
There we go.
Burn them up, baby.
Okay. Well, at the 10. The touch armor. No. Okay.
That's bad. I mean, yeah, I'm sorry. A 10 is not gonna do it.
Okay, I pass out.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. It's all right. You're gonna be fine. Okay, Abhorsen, you see your skillfully spell-focused friend fall victim to whatever he happened to have fallen victim to. And it is your go.
I make eye contact with the bark-clad creature, and I point the sword at it, and I say, "You, I want you." And I wade back into the distressed terrain.
Okay, love it. She's decomposing, so I'm going to take her out of the way. He looks at you, and he just goes,
I can't see your face.
Can't see your face.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
One more time.
What?
Make the face one more time. Okay, yeah, there it is.
Okay. So you get to right here and roll a reflex save, please.
Will a 14 save?
Nope.
Can I throw an action die on it?
Absolutely. And you don't even need to roll it unless you want to.
I roll a 2.
Right, perfect. So you make it to Bad, and you are holding a long sword.
That's great.
Scrunk said something about a bastard sword, and I was like, if Scrunk wants a bastard sword, he can get a bastard sword. This is a long sword.
I don't know. You've said that this sword has an edge made of wood.
It does.
I don't know any of the stats on this sword, but
make it like an innate. Do you have a knowledge, nature, or arcana? You can make an innate, like as you pick it up, you can free action. You can look at it, and you might know something about it.
I have a knowledge sword.
That doesn't apply in this
That doesn't
case,
count,
unfortunately.
I have a spell credit. I do have Arcana.
You should have Arcana.
I do.
Okay, so you can roll knowledge arcana on the sword.
That is a 17.
All right, cool. So you are able to identify the sword. And I have a thing. Okay, so this is an ironwood edged longsword.
Okay.
So for the purposes of the game, it counts as cold iron versus
All right.
A only.
Using this weapon, I attack the bark-clad creature.
Okay. And for the purposes of rules lawyering, this is a flavor bonus. So any Fey that has a DR/cold iron, you bypass that with the sword. It is not a cold iron sword. All right. So lash out at this motherfucker. What you got?
I've got an 18 or a 16 on the die. Huh, that really looks like an
Okay.
8. And I don't know what weapon
So it'll be your
attack
base
bonus,
attack bonus and then your strength bonus.
which is 4, and I'm going to add 1 for my trait of fencer, because this is a sword. I get a +1 to a sword. So
Okay.
that is a 21 to hit. 16
You
plus 5.
hit the awakened tree husk.
That's what this thing is.
Yes, sir, it is.
I hit the awakened tree husk.
Yes, you do.
And what damage does this sword roll?
What a long sword is 1d8 plus strength modifier.
All
Good known things, Tiffany.
Yeah, but I don't
is
know
this
that.
a D8?
Ask
Yes.
me things I know and you don't know. Those are the important ones.
I hit for 11 points of damage.
Significant.
Yeah. It's a 8 on the die and a strength modifier of 3.
That's great. Damn, I'm gonna enjoy getting to know this character. An oracle who uses a sword has a strength, has a high strength.
Yeah, everything about that rank option, I was like, what?
This is the opposite of Mirok. This is the opposite of Mirok.
Yeah,
I like that.
I used a long sword, I think, once. A short sword, yeah.
Okay, so after Abhorsen, we are looking at Tiffany.
I look down and I see a stick.
Yeah.
I pick up the stick and I go, Wally to me!
Yeah.
Wally to me!
Yep, love it.
And I move over here.
Yep, love it.
And I'm not going to detect evil. I'm going to declare the awakened treehouse my smite target.
Perfect.
Okay. If that works, now everyone within me, or not within me, everyone around me gets their damage halved from him. I don't know if it works or not.
It is okay. Yeah, totally.
Right?
So
Like, I
you
wouldn't
do
know.
that. Yeah, you do that.
I do that, and as a free action, I turn. I want to say his name, Skipjack.
Millock.
I turn to Millock, and I go. And I point my little. My stick is tops, half an inch thick.
Okay. Yeah,
But,
totally.
it's just like a campfire stick.
Yeah,
But I point at him and I go, "Get on down of there!" I'm just very rally mode right now.
You're leading the charge, dude.
So yeah, if he is evil, everyone's damage is half.
Okay, he is not evil.
I believe that he's evil. No, because if I took, it would be a move action for me to know whether or not. But I burn a smite.
Okay. This thing looks at you, Abhorsen, and breathes this strangely moldy breath into your face. And what languages do you speak?
You speak Common and Infernal.
Okay. So it does not speak a language that you understand. Does anyone here understand Sylvan? Okay.
I have a 10 intelligence, so
Okay.
no comment.
It is going to attack you.
All right.
And just as a point of description, it kind of goes like this and just reverse volleyballs you to your body part.
Go on.
And that is going to hit a 17.
That is gonna hit.
Okay.
It is at this moment I realize that it's not evil. I go, oh.
And you take 4 points of damage.
I sure do.
How are you looking?
I am at half.
Okay. Everything's going to be fine.
Oh boy.
Okay. And it then just like,
How's the thing looking after getting hit with a wooden sword?
it's got, like the deepness that like, like a heart with like D and R, like scraped into it. That's about what you did.
Okay.
And yeah, it bellows at you. And we'll move on to Scrunk.
So I got this other viney majig in my face.
Yeah, you got this other bloodroot creeper that is kind of staring at you.
Okay, attacky tack time. Rolled a 14 again, so that's not going to hit.
Correct.
Next one is a 16.
That'll hit.
And the third, if I can hit my little crow mouth. God damn it, I cannot. For that one last time.
Language.
Sorry, Glenn, is a 3. So I've got one claw attack that is hitting for math. Come on, math. Why can I not do this? 13 points of damage.
All right, good. This thing is affected by that. One could say it is affected by that. So you'd like, a couple of its weird, creepy octopus-style vine arms are cut off. They start to regrow, and it kind of skitters and screeches at you. And we are moving on to Malin.
Malin, do I need to roll to like become ungrappled, or what? Am I?
Yeah, you can roll an opposing grapple check against the grappled vine.
Okay.
Just try to break free.
Yeah. Oh, God damn it. That's
Language.
4. Sorry, Jake.
That's a 4.
Yeah.
You cannot break free. However, you are within striking distance of the big bad.
Oh, then I attack.
Okay. So you attack with your club. Let's see it.
Let's see it. Come on. These dice have been sucking. I'm using this. God damn it. That's a 6.
Language.
Well, does
Clean campaign.
Huh?
The clean campaign, Glenn.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's real
You do have action die, and you're nowhere near level 2.
Yeah, I'll use a action die.
Action die. Action die.
That does not explode. I use another action die.
Action die. Action die.
Do it.
Exploded. So 6, 10, 12. Exploded. 16. 19.
You said 19?
Yeah.
That'll do it.
All right. And then is that 1d12 for my damage?
You are using a club, which I believe is 1d4 plus your strength modifier. Might be 1d6.
1d6.
1d6 plus your strength modifier.
Are you using it two-handed?
I guess I don't. Am I able to use it two-handed where I'm at?
Do it.
If I can. Yeah.
What's your strength bonus?
I'm still working on that stuff, really.
What is your strength? What is your strength modifier?
16.
15?
16.
16?
15, 16.
Okay. So
people are
yeah,
talking.
1d6 plus 7
Would be using it two-handed. That's totally fine.
11.
It'd be funny what this guy drops because it's for him. 11 points of damage.
Yeah.
Okay. It comes out And if it could glare, it would be glaring at you.
I'm smirking at it.
All right. Moving on to this next weird little bloodroot creature. It reaches out and attempts to attack Mr. Scrunk here. Okay. Okay. I might use an action die.
Get him.
It's hot in here, boys.
Does 15 hit you, Scrunk?
Oh yeah.
All right. Cool. One action die down. You take 4 points of damage.
Scrunk explodes.
Wait, he's done?
No, into a fit of rage. Gotcha, bitch.
Okay. Jesus Christ. All right. Simultaneously, it rolls a 5 on its CMB to try to pull you deeper into the entanglement, which is not good enough. I guarantee it. All right. So after that, Yagan is nowhere to be found, and
He gone.
Millock approaches you, and he looks at you. And what was it that you said to him?
I said, "Get on out of there!"
Millock.
I'm just looking at him with just a trembling giant baby face.
He goes. He kind of looks at you, and he goes, "Oh." and he goes into the vines. Succeeds on this.
Wow. Amazing.
And attempts to kind of like hop up on this rock next to Abhorsen.
He's really going all terrain. Oz is here. Why is he going over here?
What did you say to him?
I said, "Get Oz out of there. This was fine."
What? No, say what you said to him.
Get Oz out of there. Is that what I said?
Say it.
Get Oz out of there.
Yeah, so he had no idea what the fuck that meant.
Cool.
Just
cool.
like I am now just realizing that you said get Oz
No,
out of
that's-
there.
I like that. That's great.
I have no idea that you said that. So he essentially assumes that you said get your ass in there. And he's going all terrain, and he's gonna try to fucking attack this thing. He's gonna attack this thing with his club. And he fails to do so. So we're gonna move on to Oz.
Okay, I just realized I would have made my concentration check without spending the 2 action dice.
Okay.
Can I retroactively apply those action dice to like a last ditch touch attack as I'm laying on the ground trying
You
to?
both action die? Sure. This is great. Yeah, do it.
You
12 touch attack.
Come on.
Mhm. That is exactly what you need.
Okay. Those 2 ones? Yep. Damn.
That means I rolled 1 on every action die.
Yeah.
Wow.
20 points of lightning damage.
Okay. This thing is noticeably pretty fucked up. Not dead yet, but noticeably pretty fucked up.
So like I'm laying on the ground, like I touch its ankle and I pass it out.
Okay. All right. So you have passed out now, but that was pretty epic.
That's dope.
Brings up Abhorsen.
I look at this recently struck by lightning
Humanoid.
charred
Yeah.
wooden root man, and I feel the scar on my face burn, and I reach out and I touch it, and as a supernatural ability, I deal 1d6 plus my curse level of fire damage to it.
Nice.
And I'll roll that now. And there's a 6 on the die, and a curse level is just my level.
Yeah.
So 7 points of fire damage to the wooden thing.
Do you need to roll a touch attack?
As a supernatural ability, you can touch your enemy.
So you do need to roll a touch attack.
All right, I will roll a touch. I add
My response was just cool.
Love it. Love it.
Number you're looking for is 12.
Yes.
15 on the die.
Okay, cool. You do it. So this thing dies. Yeah, it's dead.
In fire.
Yeah, it is fiery, dead, smoldering, smoldering on the ground. There is still yet one enemy to go, and I have something really great to say. As this thing dies, it looks across the entanglement
No.
to
Yeah.
your paladin friend.
Yeah.
And it says, Grim time, Tiffany. And like reaches out and then falls dead to the ground.
Oh,
That guy?
And that brings up Scrump. Or no, sorry. That does bring up Scrump. Yeah.
I thought I was after Hwhatsit.
Oh yeah, you totally are. Sorry. I wrote the little arrow. Yes, it is. You get to respond to the crazy shit that just happened.
Yeah, it says Tiverian bursts into flames as Hwhatsit just looks terrifying. I see Millock going wide, and I say, "Frick it!" And I'm going to go in and attempt to pull Oz out of the entanglement.
Okay, cool. So give me a reflex save.
All right. 19.
Okay, you do it.
Cool. So I like go in, drag him out.
You go in and you grab him as a standard action. You can prepare to drag him out over rough terrain.
Okay, now I'm doing that.
Yeah.
So you want me to roll anything for that? Or just...
No, you got him. What's your push, pull, or drag? I mean, you can probably do it.
He's got a 14 strength.
Yeah.
Push pull, he can easily do.
And he never became grappled. So the vines are.
It's just rough terrain. I'd be like,
yeah. Well, you can't move yet. You moved. You don't have ride by attack. So you're in there. You grabbed him.
Okay.
So that brings on Scrump.
Let's kill this Vonnie thingy.
All right.
16 to hit.
That'll do it.
More to hit on the second. And that third one will hit too.
Okay.
Scrunk boy. First attack. Let's go. Rolled a 6. Love to see it. 14.
It is dead.
Aw. I spent my last 2 attacks hitting the dirt where it came from.
So at this point, as though the bloodroot creepers were a physical manifestation of the magic that created the entanglement, it disappears. And in combat.
Oh my God.
Has the decomposing corpse also decomposed all the armor and the loot from the dead elf woman?
It does not decompose. So you have a suit of leather armor.
Hwhatsit!
And you have that sword. That's all she carried.
I don the leather armor.
Okay. So you've got leather armor and a sword. And everybody else is just no, I love it. I'm just
the
clarifying.
entire time you were doing that, I am saying, Hwhatsit, please! I am calling for help because you're the only person I have seen cast healing spells. And Oz is just dead.
Yeah. Oz is completely passed out and not okay.
I sheath the wooden sword upon my back, and I step over to Tiffery Eraser boy, and I say, "What is it? What do you want?"
He fell gloriously in battle. We must save him.
Do you have the ability to heal?
No, I don't. I'm just a boy.
I think you do.
I don't.
Well,
Level 2.
yeah.
I can't use lay on hands to level 2.
Yeah.
I am very impotent.
Yeah. That's
With a look of disgust, I walk past Tiffery and I kneel down beside Oz, and I cast Cure Light Wounds.
Slow version?
Slow version, the whole deal. We're taking the
Slow version?
Oh, yeah.
full round
all
action.
house rules apply.
Okay.
I
We
take
can play too long to not do it.
that is my second casting for the day. Cure Light Wounds. Oz,
All
how
right.
you feel? How are you feeling, pal?
100%.
Wow, he's
That
back.
was a heal for 9. That was exactly how much damage I had taken.
Go for the glory of Qatar.
I stand up, cough a little bit, cast prestidigitation on myself, clean off the bloodstains, and put my hand on Abhorsen's shoulder, and I say, that armor looks disgusting, and I prestidigitate your armor clean.
I look at the armor and I say, "You're welcome."
Right back at you.
Tiffery was just standing there.
Yeah.
Where he's at.
All right. So, how we doing?
I guess in the heat of it, I didn't really get into it, but I did want to say like Skrunk's Blood Rage kind of looks like when there's a lot of cars just like lined up in traffic, you can see this just like shimmer, like exhaust fumes, right?
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think that kind of like exudes off of him a little bit. You can just see this like little, little simmer of just burning dinosaurs,
Steaming.
and he's absolutely exhausted now, and he's just like curled up at the base of that tree he's closest to.
All right.
I kick around in the cindered remains of that creature
Mhm.
that attacked us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There
He was
is.
wearing like bark armor or something.
He just kind of was a tree spirit.
He was bark armor.
Mm-hmm. But you do see some things. So you see kind of just this skeleton, as though he was the reincarnated spirit of something. And amongst that skeleton, there is a abnormally large femur bone that could be called a heavy bone club. That could count as a two-handed weapon and have a 1d8 damage die associated with it. Additionally, you see a kind of strange shield made out of hide and wood, and that is called the wrought hide shield. And yeah, it's a very strange thing, and anyone who has a spellcraft check can roll upon it.
Abhorsen will roll a spellcraft check.
Well,
So it's like a bone mace, like a bone club.
yeah, like a bone club for you, probably.
That is
Hey, if nobody's messing with the bone, I'll go over to it.
natural 1 on the spellcraft check for the shield. So
Natural 1 on the spellcraft check for the shield. Okay, so it is a
Don't worry.
found in dried bark, almost as though it looks like some sort of weird sinewy skin.
Skrunk has this.
Oh, yes, with the 12, once per day you can absorb 1 magic missile.
That's cool.
So it just takes it and no damage.
It just takes it. Yep. There, the can is once per day you absorb 1 magic missile.
Tiffery just walks over and picks it up.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, so Tiffery's got a shield. Does the heavy bone club go to who I think it goes to? It doesn't have to. Anybody can take it. All right, cool.
Yeah, cool.
So Malin has that.
Heavy bone club.
did the Ironwood sword have a damage bonus at all?
No, it is just that it acts with
Oh,
cold iron versus Fey only.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be right back.
It is masterwork, but it doesn't have a bonus yet.
And is my rot hide shield masterwork?
Yes.
It's my rotting hide shield?
Yes, it is. The bone is not, but the rot hide shield is.
A masterwork bone.
It's not a masterwork bone.
You gotta have a master grow the bone inside of them.
Yeah, it's a scrimshaw.
That's evolution, baby.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so y'all are looking for things. In particular, Oz said that he's going to kind of kick around and see what he can find. Oz, please give me a perception check.
6.
All right, cool. So you kind of kick around, look at some stuff. Nothing super interesting. You should have asked for that earlier. But if anyone else wants to give me a perception check, feel free to do so.
Oh, this. I'm assuming should I just look up a hide shield for stats.
Perception check.
Perception checks. I have a 6.
No, I did a 4.
Right, no one found the half-buried talisman made of knotted ironwood. We will.
We got 3, right? I heard a 4. Jake, what'd you get?
What?
What'd you get?
I haven't rolled anything.
Okay. Perception check.
Yeah.
Well, Scrunk is just kind of hanging out by that tree, so someone's gonna have to ask him to look for shit. It's not on his mind.
What about Millock?
Oh yeah, Millock. Millock rolled a 2.
All right, fuck it. I'm doing it. Metagame. 3. 3. 3. Okay.
What's your total?
Said 4. I got 6. So I'm at 12.
Fuck it.
You had a 6.
Yeah, I rolled 3, 3, 3.
That's 9 added to that.
Oh god. Yeah.
15.
Right. 15.
15.
Okay, that legitimately does it.
Are you sure that the chat GPT was wrong with the math?
I'm telling you, dude. I'm not great at math, but I can count to 20. Not 15 though.
So you see a glowing kind of in the underbrush there.
Glowing. Okay.
You approach it and you find a half-buried talisman made of knotted ironwood. It has a specific symbol on it, and feel free to give me a knowledge religion check.
Okay. No. 6.
Okay. So you just kind of look at it. Millock looks over and notices that you find something.
Yeah.
And he approaches you, and just out of curiosity, he's like, "Oh, is it Tiffery?"
Yeah, Tiffany Mendon.
All right. Well, what do you have there?
Well, it's only a knotted ironwood talisman.
Can I see it? Yeah. He kind of takes it and he clutches it. And he looks at it and he goes, "May I have this?"
Well, you have to ask everyone else first.
He goes around and he asks each of you, "Tiffany seems to have found this talisman. May I hold on to it? I claim no ownership, but may I keep it close?"
Whatever.
All right. Thank you for interacting with me.
What does the
I
talisman?
put my hand on his shoulder. I look deep into his eyes and says, "You're here too."
What meaning does the talisman have? What properties does it possess?
He says, "I think it's a druidic symbol. Here in the druid walls, I think that makes some sort of sense. I feel drawn to it. I don't know how else to say it. I would like to keep it close."
Put it on.
It's not really attached to anything.
It's not on
No.
ironwood
No.
string.
No, there's no string. There's no string, Abhorsen. There is no string.
Only he had a rope.
It's more like a fetish.
Yeah, well, it's a talisman. You know, the opportunity for a string certainly exists.
Oh, they were vines.
Not for this guy.
Not.
Millock doesn't get string.
Yagan seems to have run off. Millock kind of hurriedly disengages from Abhorsen and, kind of goes, Yagan!
He gone.
And kind of searches the periphery for him.
So you named the guy who ran away Yagan.
All gone.
Yagan. Yeah.
All gone.
I thought Yagan was the name of the priest. Isha was the name of the asshole.
Sorry, I'm back. I had to make Dustin some
Is that true? Did I fuck it up? Or is that what your notes say?
He gone.
Okay. Well,
Yagan has been gone.
Yagan has been gone. Yeah, my bad.
He played Never Have I Ever, and then he was.
Oh yeah, he was the wistful one.
Never Have I Ever.
Is that Yagan? Ah, sorry, I fucked up the names then.
Right.
My bad.
Okay. We got stuff.
You got some stuff.
I turn to go and go. He was not evil, but he was trying to hurt us. Something's kind of screwy.
Are there any insignia, rank, motif, anything on the elven woman's armor?
No. You inspect Abhorsen much to her distaste. And regardless of what you say to her, one can't speak for motives, but you did ask her to undress herself in the slave camp. So
Told her to give me her belt.
We got out of the slave camp. It's shitty leather armor and a wooden sword.
No insignias or heraldry or anything on the sword.
Oh
no, it's very finely crafted, but no particular insignia you can see. Highly polished. It's a beautiful sword.
You got go ahead.
How soon can we get the fuck out of this forest?
Which one of you knew True North?
You're gone.
Yeah, we need to follow his tracks.
Can anyone else find True North? Dead Reckoning.
Didn't I find it last game?
Oh.
Do you have survival?
I turn to the Catman and I say, "Did you?"
I believe I do.
Does the lizard man can he sense magnetic fields?
The lizard man is asleep under a tree.
Under your lamp, you've got your little
Got my little heat lamp.
your little heat lamp
chilling.
on your rock.
What time of day is it?
When you arrived into the Druid Walls, it was barely daybreak. Now, after some wandering, it's probably more like it's not yet noon, but probably 10 o'clock.
Is this a world where the sun rises in the east and sets in the west?
Sure.
Well, 10 o'clock I can't figure out anything, but if it was close to sunset or sunrise, I'd be like west.
That way, yeah.
east.
Yeah.
But I'm a city boy. I'm like
I would say regardless.
anywhere from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. I have no idea.
I would say, regardless of which side it would be a survival check. But
Yeah, but at sunset it would be a really easy survival check.
and that's a fair point to make.
Depends on the time of year and the latitude you're at. The sun is setting in the northwest right now. We got so they've awoken the bloodroot. It's not evil. I would imagine that this is something to do with the proximity of the slave camp / the war, because it seems like this is a region that is kind of on the borders. Am I aware I roll like a knowledge geography, like, oh yeah, this is like a skirmish. The Druid walls, like the war is like it's on the front.
Yeah. Roll a yeah. Roll if you've got a knowledge local and make it intelligence.
Oh. I don't have a trait, so it's just gonna be straight intelligence, which is gonna be just straight up dice roll, so 12.
Okay. With that, you just kind of reach back into your historical knowledge. You don't know anything particularly super special about this, but you do some ciphering on the topic, and you think about the fact that no one really enters the Druid Walls. It is a very secretive place. You haven't heard anything of it other than it exists, and from the exterior, it looks like some sort of naturally hewn mountainous fortress. And the Druidic Circle of Ket was a secretive group. Again, not much is known about them other than they went extinct a very long time ago, and it is said that their old earth magic still exists in the Druid walls. You know that there are some that attempt to find, like archaeologists that attempt to find things out about the Druid walls, but even with that interest, it's not very common, and there's not a lot known about it. But you also just you know where you are in the world right now. It is right in the middle of the territories, Irumbar
Yeah.
and Jesus, I don't have the map in front of me, but
You
yeah,
said the Druid Circle of Ket. How do you spell Ket?
Khet.
So very similar to the cat in Mass Effect.
Yes, one could say inspired by.
Oh, it's the best game, hands down. Yep, Jake's on board. After considering all of that, I look at Oz and go, "You absolutely right. We got to get out of here. We are not supposed to be here.
Yeah,
we gotta go." And I start huffing. I'm moving.
Okay.
You see pale flesh moving into the underbrush.
Okay, just a random direction.
No, the direction I saw Oz.
The direction
not
you saw
Oz.
Oz.
Yagan.
Yagan.
Isha.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so he lit out this way. So I'm just gonna reorient y'all. Raise this a little bit. You're coming in from this side, and again, it's just kind of theater of the mind until we get into an encounter. But if you want to orient yourselves on this corner of the map, headed towards the DM screen.
If we're going
in the middle of the group.
You are now standing in the middle. I imagine I get overtaken pretty quickly. I wake Scrunk up as we're going. I go, Scrunk, let's go.
You just hear a gruff, begrudgingly gets up.
Scrunk and I have been through hell together.
Okay.
You guys can see Scrunk is kind of fucked up from the encounter.
Okay. I am not familiar with lizard physiology. I'm going to roll a knowledge heal check for you and just be aware that you were fucked up. It's a natural one. So
Scrunk is looking good.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm really goosing you up, trying to get you moving.
Ain't got time to bleed.
Yeah. He says the trees came alive.
Give me a survival Tifui to see if you can continue to follow the footsteps of Yagan.
The monster. That was the monster.
Yaganisha.
That's Scrunk. Sure. Is this anyone?
Malin.
Malin? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. And then there. Knowledge survival?
Yeah.
2.
Okay. You lose the tracks.
I lost the tracks.
You feel like you can continue to walk in the direction you think he went.
My hustle moves down to a trot, moves down to a walk, and then hands are up on love handles, and I'm just looking around.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
All right. So you've stopped.
Oh, jeez.
You were previously leading the charge, and you have stopped.
I sidle up beside the half orc and say, Milok, you seem to have some kind of affinity with the forest. Where do you think we should go to get out of here?
Yes. This way.
Whoa.
He continues to kind of head down this location.
The amulet.
Take it over. We have to kill him. Simply said I was in the middle of that.
Who is you? Perfect.
That's not me. That's a horse.
Okay, well, communicate your needs.
He is.
You have to tell us which one it is.
That one? I think I'm supposed to be this one. And I'm not sure.
Who the hell's the bowman?
What bone? I don't know. So Skrunk, I think that's supposed to be Millock.
That's Millock. That's Tiflin.
That's
Malin.
Malin. And that's a person.
Yep.
So this person
Must
doesn't
have
exist.
It's the elf lady. That's who it is.
Oh, you picked up the old lady.
They're dragging along a rotting elf corpse.
Her name is Diana. We never asked her.
It was Kensira.
We never asked her, so he thinks it's Diana.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Do you have any
Last name
reaction
Forrest.
to the creature saying your surname followed by your first name?
Oh, yeah.
I soiled his loincloth.
Yeah, what can I do about that? It looks at me and goes, Tim River, and then I was like, hey guys, it's not evil. And everyone's like, yeah, whatever, let's get out of the forest. So now I'm like, okay, great.
All right. Perfect.
We'll figure that out later.
All right. So you get to kind of this point, and there is a strange scene ahead of you. Millock at this point kind of takes the lead because you've asked him to. And there are 4 totems kind of set up in this general area. And they are around a reflecting pool. And he notes that the 4 totems face cardinal directions. And then you will each roll a perception check.
Yeah.
Perception.
Proceeding. Natural 20.
Nice.
Well,
1. Not natural.
Okay.
I have a 13.
Okay. We got a 7 there. Okay, who got the 20?
I didn't.
Tiffer.
So a second nat 20 perception.
Yeah.
he's a good perceiver.
I'm not. I don't have a train that have a -1 in it.
Wow.
29.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a really weird moment for you. You hear a voice on the wind.
Okay.
And the voice says, I could do it in a breathy voice, but that would kind of fall flat. It says, these birds fly only when the wind favors them. Put their faces to the breeze that guides them. And you also notice that the pool reflects a sun that is rising in the north.
Say again?
The pool reflects the sky. Oh, yeah. It says, these birds fly only when the wind favors them. Put their faces to the breeze that guides them. And you notice that the totems are in certain shapes. One is an eagle, one is a raven, one is an owl, and one is a sparrow.
In rough common, you hear Scrunk go, bird.
Whoa, that's good, Scrump.
And you notice that the pool reflects an odd version of the sky in which the sun seems to be rising in the north.
Eagle, raven, owl.
Eagle, raven, owl, sparrow. You view this as a puzzle, but it also is completely unnecessary. You can continue past this.
I turn to Scrub and I say in Draconic 4. And then I say in common 4 birds.
4 birds.
These birds only fly when the wind favors them.
Capri Sun.
The guides.
Hell yeah. Scrub turns into a shimmering mercury-colored lizard and surfboards away.
In the night.
Right. I mean, my instinct hearing the little phrase, limerick is a cloud, but there's bird statues.
And what did you say was in the reflecting pool?
It is a sky in which the sun seems to be rising in the north.
Can the stones be moved?
Yes.
What way are they currently facing?
So Cardinal Direction Man, aka Millock, says that the eagle is currently on the west side of the pool, the owl is currently on the north side of the pool, the raven is currently on the east side of the pool, and the sparrow is currently on the south side of the pool.
Owl in the north, raven in the east, eagle in the west, sparrow in the south.
Yes.
And the sun appears to currently be rising in the north on the owl.
Which way are they each facing?
Oh, they are facing out.
Okay.
So that is a good question. So the eagle is facing west. The owl is facing north. The raven is facing east. The sparrow is facing south.
So can these stones be lifted, or are they just turned?
They can be lifted. They're not light, but they're not obscenely heavy.
Give me the riddle again.
These birds fly only when the wind favors them. Put their faces to the breeze that guides them.
These birds only fly when the wind favors them, put their faces towards the breeze that guides them. So face them into the direction that the wind would guide them. So
you can face them in what you get from this. I'll give you a couple gimmies and then we can do checks. But what you get from this is that you face them towards the direction, face them and put them towards the direction that they as an archetype represent.
Mm.
And I'm open to knowledge, religion. I'm open to you guys figuring it out. I'm also open to knowledge, religion, knowledge, nature, things like that.
Scrunk says in Draconic to Oz, Nightbird west, where sun sets. As I kind of frames it as a question.
Not a bad idea.
Scrunk thinks the owl should point west. You said they can be moved or just
they can be moved and faced.
How big are they?
Are
they stone?
Mm-hmm.
They weigh like 50 pounds.
50, maybe 75 pounds.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go pick up that one and move it to the west.
Okay. We've moved the owl to the west.
Is anything in the reflecting pool change?
Nothing in the reflecting pool changes. Wait, hold on. Yes, it does. The sun now is rising from the east. Might be.
Okay. So he
literally says that on the thing on my notes that I'm looking at, and I said no.
So he takes the owl, which is in the north, where the sun is currently rising, and he puts the owl on the west side facing out, and now the sun is rising from the east. Okay.
Yeah. So the eagle, is it on the ground or is it on the owl podium?
It's just, I think it's just on the ground. We haven't moved it there.
Yeah, it's not. There's no podium. You just put it next to. So now there is nothing in the north. At least that's the way I took it. So now you've got two statues that are right next to each other.
All right. Well, that's.
I'm gonna roll knowledge.
Owl in the north.
And I'm gonna roll a knowledge nobility with particularly around like bird symbols and iconography.
Yeah.
So the knowledge religion is going to come out to a 20, and the nobility is going to come out to a 10.
Okay. So the nobility doesn't really get you all that much. Owls are common heraldry, but the religion does get you something, particularly about the raven. Ravens are noted in a lot of mythology, not just the main gods, but also smaller, beliefs, faiths, and totemic religions. Ravens are the speakers of truth and also the speakers of what will come in the future. They are the birds of the horizon.
Okay, so it's what will come in the future. I move the raven to the east position. Oh, well, it's already in the east position.
It is in the east.
Yeah, so I think it is in the correct spot.
Does this count as a magic device?
You can roll checks that may.
Well, I have a skill called use magic device.
Oh,
yes.
And
part of that would be figuring out how to use a magic device.
Yes, you can roll a use magic device.
How deep is this reflecting pool?
You cannot. You have no idea. It completely reflects the
dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. So I'm not just going to tell you exactly what to do. But you understand some things about the eagle. The eagle hunts in the morning. The owl hunts at night. The raven tells of the future, and the sparrow is the great migrator.
So the sparrow and the raven are north-south. The eagle and the owl are east-west. But we just need to play around with it. I mean, there's only so many permutations of this.
Yeah. So I tell Scrum, hey, can you move the eagle over there? And I point next to the raven.
Do as instructed.
I'm gonna move the raven to the north.
Wait, let's one thing at a time. See what happens if we move the eagle to the east.
Eagle to the east. The sun appears to continue rising from the east.
Good.
Right, so then raven to the north. Raven to the north.
As you move the raven to the north, the sun appears at its zenith, and the pool begins to drain.
Sick.
Sparrows to the south? The
Yeah.
great migrators? Yeah.
The great migrator. So, as the
Did the raven having an N in it mean anything?
the raven having an N in it mean anything? No.
Okay, damn it. That was my first thought of the raven N.
No, it's the guide, the North Star, the teller of the future. It was on. So thanks for bearing it.
I stare down into the draining pool. What do I see?
What's in there?
It's not a very deep pool. And at the bottom is a box made of hardwood.
Someone should go open that box.
I'll hop down there. I go and open the box.
All right. So you open the box. So there's a couple things in the box. First of all, there's no water on the inside of the box, which is pretty crazy. The box is not locked, also pretty crazy. And the box has some things in it. So it has a small bone charm in it. It has what looks to be kind of the top of a hood, a coif,
Cowl?
or a cowl, yes, in it. And additionally, it has a necklace in it with a pendant on it.
Oh. It's empty. No, I tell my friends what's in there, or my people. I don't know if they're my friends yet, but the people I'm wondering with.
I stick a meaty hand to grasp your sharp kitty claw, pull you out of the pit.
Ah,
It's not much of a pit. It's like that.
I still do
Wait,
it.
okay.
I'm a nice boy.
Yeah. It's nice
He
guy.
might slip. What if he scrapes his shin?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's no. I'm sorry for
Yeah.
belittling you.
Thank you.
yeah. Well, I don't take his hand, but I say thank you.
That's sick. I like that because we're the two brats in the group.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
What, Catman? What did you find in the box?
My name is
Show the party.
Here it is. A hood, a Robin. The hood sounds cool. I don't know if that would help me any. I was just thinking visually that would look cool, but is that a brooch? I think, and then another bone.
There is a spell that shares the initials with Dungeon Master that could be helpful in this regard, if any of you have that spell prepared.
Dungeness Marina.
Detect magic.
Dynamite.
I know meat.
I have no detect magic.
Detect magic is a spell, yeah.
I don't have detect magic.
The first level.
Wait, do
it's
I?
a 0.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a 0. I do have detect magic.
There we go.
You don't get any cantrips ever.
Yep.
I still have used magic device, and I can try to blindly use magic devices.
I do have detect magic as a 0 level spell, so
Cool.
I cast detect magic on.
All three of these objects are magic, and given that they are magic, you can now spellcraft to figure out what they do.
What about the fucking box?
The box itself is not magical.
But it kept water out?
The pool is magical, and if you had touched it, bad things would have happened. So kudos.
Oh, cool.
I almost got in that water. No shit.
That's fine. Yeah.
He almost Capri Sunned himself.
I make a spellcraft check on the amulet on the
The bone
with the
charm,
spell-
the necklace with pen-
the necklace pendant. Dirty
Yeah.
20.
Okay. Perfect.
Spellcraft.
So this is a specific pendant. It's called the Pendant of Quiet Resolve. And you ascertain that you get a +2 on saves versus fear while you're wearing it. And it is etched with Iralia's sigil. She is the goddess of the element of neutrality.
Well, like that.
Sometimes you got to get some nice shit at level 1. Would you like to look at the other ones?
I would. Is anyone else crafting spells? No?
I do not.
I have a pretty good spellcraft check, but I don't have detect magic, so I usually just fuck around with stuff until it explodes or works.
I make a spellcraft check on the bone charm.
I think that it would be appropriate for Abhorsen to say, these are definitely magical. Would you care to look at this one?
I assure you
But I
that
can't
these are
see
Yeah,
the
you can't
magic.
see the
I can't
magic.
spellcraft
Right.
what it does. I can fuck around with it until it explodes or works.
I like it. Which one did you look at? I'm sorry, Ross.
the bone charm with
The
a
bone charm
spellcraft
and-
check of 14.
A 14. So that is adequate to ascertain that this is a rage fetish. Once per day, it allows +1 round to rage duration.
Okay.
I like this box.
Bone fetish makes you mad and scary. Amulet protects you from scary.
Yeah.
I tell Scrunk, you're going to have to fight Malin to the death for the bone charm.
Then I will.
Yeah, this is going to be if I put you against any squishy enemies and these guys get to flanking them, you'll just win the campaign.
I make a third spellcraft check on the cowl.
Okay.
Simon Cowell. Wow.
Is that a good wow?
Yeah, that is 19 spellcraft check. That's 3 good rolls in a row.
All right. This is an item that we're going to call the Veil of the Forgotten. It is a hooded black wrap that grants a +2 bonus on stealth checks in dim light.
All right. Would you qualify this forest as dimly lit?
Yeah.
You say +1?
+2.
+2.
+2 bonus on stealth checks in dim light. I'm going to take a wee wee.
Well, how are we feeling to split these things up?
I don't need any of those things.
You're telling me you're not afraid?
Oh yeah, he's definitely afraid.
Scrunk has no idea what we're talking about, so we can.
Well, then I'll be okay.
I look at the short, plump, nearly nude boy covered in what is indiscernible from mud and his own feces.
Yeah,
And I
I'm
say,
a stretched piece of dead skin. Just
and I
towering.
say, Tiffery, come here.
I agree reactionarily. Like a thought doesn't happen and I'm just moving toward you.
I place the amulet around your neck and I say, you're gonna need this. Don't take this off.
What is this amulet?
It provides, it's gonna help you not be so afraid.
I'm going to look at this and roll a knowledge religion. 21.
Okay. So you immediately recognize the sigil of Iralia.
Yeah.
And this is a known item. It's not like the only one. This isn't like the, oh my gosh, I found the thing.
Yeah.
But these are possessed by high-level priests of Iralia.
Yeah.
And in particular, druids of Iralia. Yeah. Druids are often align themselves with Iralia of the 3 gods, if they do at all. She is the goddess of neutrality. But this is a very well-known, very high-level thing that people who worship Iralia would carry.
Okay.
So you would not wear it?
No. I start to turn very red and stammer. I go, this is very nice. That part is very. This is so. No. Just like kind of squint my eyes, like as if I'm about to be hit. Thank you.
No. And I remove the amulet from around your neck and place it around my own and say, you've made your choice.
Yes. Thank you.
And I've made mine. Yeah, now I have an amulet around my neck.
Grunk approaches Abhorsen and reaches out kind of very slowly and takes the bone charm. And
Please.
kind of like just like puts his teeth on it a little bit, you know?
No.
And looks at it and nods and then just like walks away with it.
You do notice, Scrunk, that you're not exactly sure why, But like if this was like a chicken bone or something like that, you'd expect that given a, you know, not a great amount of force, you could like snap into it and like suck out the marrow. You would have a difficult time doing that with this particular bone. It's kind of abnormally hard.
I walk over to Malin. I tell Malin, I told Strunk that you'd have to fight each other to the death for ownership of that bone chunk.
I can. Strunk is but a child in my eyes. So am I, though. I'm trying to see. I want to seem cool, but I will kill him.
Yeah.
I put my hand on your shoulder and say, I know you will. Good luck.
Yeah, I feel like, Glenn, if you're like a rich little noble boy, like the minute I fucking get my hands back on the levers of power, I'm just gonna be like, Daddy,
Yeah, exactly.
kill him.
I have like for my personality is like Vegeta. It's basically like Prince Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. Like,
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I surprisingly, although I'm not a huge fan of that show, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
cool.
The little brat boy.
Yeah.
What's his dad's name?
Vegeta.
Oh, his dad's name's Vegeta too?
Son of Vegeta.
What's his brother's?
There's Trunks. That's Vegeta's son.
No.
Trunks is cool as
Vegeta
fuck.
had a brother. He was older. Was he the first one?
No, that's Goku.
You're thinking of Goku's brother Raditz.
You're
Raditz.
thinking of
Raditz. I'm thinking of Raditz. You're right.
Kakarot.
Yeah, man. I'm a big Dragon Ball Z guy. But anyway.
Yeah.
Nothing ever happened on that show.
Not me,
Something
man.
happened once a season.
How many Z fighters does it take to screw in a light bulb?
Go on.
All of them. But it takes 5 episodes and Krillin does.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
What's going on with this box? Is it just still sitting in the pool?
Doing whatever Malin wanted to do with it. It doesn't seem magical. It just seemed like a box that was surrounded by some sort of magical pool.
Yeah, so whenever we took the stuff out of it, I just kind of threw it to the side.
Grunk keeps the box. He's going to carry it.
I underhand lob the cowl to Oz and say, cover yourself up.
I look at the cowl and I hand it to Malin and I say, consolation prize.
Perfect. I'll take that. So what is that, Trevor? What's that called?
Awesome. What does this do?
Wait.
It's +2 to stealth if you're in dim light.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but normally there's like I have heavy bone club.
You do have heavy bone.
Oh, this is you mean the name of it?
Yeah.
This is the Veil of the Forgotten. And it's +2 bonus on stealth checks in dim light. And it's a hood.
Whenever you wear it, you talk like this.
Yeah. Yeah. I admit I was kind of picturing a person wearing that, but I love how this is all getting distributed.
Yeah, everyone's trying to give each other things. We're all like, no.
No, I'll take it.
Okay. So what's the what are you doing here?
We find Isha. We drag them back. We throw Isha in.
It's Yagan now.
We throw
Yagan is canon.
And we fucking turn the stones around.
Until next session.
Yeah.
And it's now.
Yeah. Damn it. Yeah. But Yagan is such a cooler name. I guess I just went with it for that reason, but it's Yagan now. Isha's the guy who got killed.
It goes Isha.
Bye-bye.
Oh, before we leave this area, Skrunk is going to move the statues, like mix them back up and see if the pool fills back up.
Okay, cool. Very wise of you. It doesn't. But you get the feeling that was a cool thing to do.
Skrunk is just smiling. He's very happy with himself.
Yeah, you get the feeling like maybe you did that for somebody so that they didn't have to do it in the future.
Feng Shui.
Here to
Millock
help
mentions
her.
you are shall we continue? At this point, it is
Burning daylight. No luck. Let's
Due
go.
north.
it is about midday.
We're not out of the woods yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's get out of these woods. These druidic woods.
Yeah, for sure. All right, you press onward. Millock's gonna roll a survival check to see anyone else can as well to see if he recognizes any of Yagan's footsteps. He doesn't.
God damn.
Shot in the dark. I got a 9.
Okay, that's what Millock rolled as well, and he kind of confirms with the party. He says, "I lost the footsteps at the pool. Northward, I can ascertain which way is northward, and conceivably that will get us out of here."
Would a roll above a 10 see the tracks?
Above a 10? Yes. How far above a 10?
11.
No.
All right.
Oh dear. Oh
Hold
my
up,
God.
free.
Yeah.
I wanted to get the yes first.
Above a 10? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So yeah, do y'all, I mean, he kind of asks, he's like, I've lost the way if we're following Yagan. I can't ascertain north. That's not necessarily the way Yagan went. He kind of fled in a panic.
Northward.
On Waven's wings. Onward. You know?
My name is Miller.
Onward. Hey, on.
Okay. All right. So you continue onward north.
Yeah.
Because if you do remember, you fled west towards the Druid walls, and now conceivably you're heading north, but you don't know what your wiggle looked like.
Right. Okay.
All right. So onward, upward, and on. So you travel for several hours. It is growing into the late afternoon. By the time you come upon an interesting sight. So it is a massive stone sunk into a moss-covered hill. And it is directly to the north of you, and you continue on. It's probably edging towards 4 or 5 o'clock. The dim light that is making its way through the canopy isn't starting to fade yet, but you are aware that where you are right now is not only surrounded by a good bit of hill, but also the season you are in is you know you don't have that much sunlight remaining to you as you approach this hill with a giant moss-covered stone shoved into it as though a giant grabbed the stone and forced it into the hillside.
Is it? Fuck it. No, survival check. Appropriate. With a survival of 5, I say, how much farther to the inn? The tavern?
Millock says, "The tavern?
Right, we're gonna. There's always a tavern.
Son, there could be, but I am not currently leading us to a tavern."
Well, it's getting late. Where are we gonna sweep?
Under the stars, my boy. Under the stars.
I had intended to slave camp. This is worse than slave camp. I had a roof in the slave camp.
Millock turns around to the rest of you and says,
I'm talking to you still.
"Do you notice that the young noble boy is making the point that being out here with all of us is worse than the slave camp?"
Well, we need a roof. Cool things.
I recommend that we somehow can continue to this rock and make camp for the night.
I size up the rock and pace around it. How many paces is the circumference of this large boulder?
So as you approach it, you notice that it is around 15 feet on this side. Ooh. And 10 feet on this side. So 15 by 10. But as you draw closer,
it's breathing.
You see that it is forms part of the border of a circle of standing stones. They would appear to be quite eroded, but very intentionally placed.
Druidics.
There you are.
Pacing.
You're casing the joint.
Knowledge religion 9.
Knowledge religion 9.
Yeah.
Druids, standing stones.
Some bullshit.
I will also roll a knowledge religion check. Oh.
He's mobile.
Knowledge religion 16.
Okay. So I mean you've heard of the Druidic Circle of Ket.
Sure.
Even with what's that?
You found it.
This is the Druidic Circle of Ket.
Portal to hell. We've seen it before, folks.
You know a decent amount about religion, but there is not a lot known about the Druidic Circle of Ket, and even druids are very, very, very rare. But a circle like this is bound to be an extremely, extremely sacred.
Our guide, it's not Yagan. Who is our guide? Sorry.
Millock.
I beckon to Millock and I say, Millock, do you still have that druidic totem?
I do.
Walk into the center of that circle.
Almost as though that's exactly what he wanted you to say. He goes into the circle, grasping the pendant, and you first see him kind of look up and around in wonder, and then he drops to his knees, and you can see him just kind of laugh, crying what you assume to be tears of joy for a minute, maybe 2, and then he kind of shakes his head, comes out of it, and emerges and says, it's as though I remember things I couldn't have even been alive to experience.
What do you remember?
I took that drug once.
He said he saw a desert lush with vegetation, and he saw the tide stretch outward and reveal a great salt flat where the sound currently is.
Wasn't that part of mythology that Cathar the Prow was created by Illyra upon his death? Wasn't there a component of your mythology?
There is a component of the
landmass was
mythology.
created. Which one was it?
So there's a component of the mythology that Cathar's prow was so that the tears of fucking Jesus. I'm sorry, I'm drinking my.
Is it like Illyria? Ilaria?
Yeah. Auralia.
Auralia.
The tears of Auralia created the marsh after Cathar killed himself on Cathar's prow. But the sound that he's referring to is the one that is far west of you currently. And you roll a knowledge. Anybody have like a knowledge, geography or anything like that, or a naked intelligence? You can just roll a naked intelligence to kind of understand some of the meaning that he's talking about.
That's a nat 20.
Knowledge, history would also apply.
Knowledge history.
Bro, you don't have a singing person, right?
Glenn,
Marshlands are what Auralia created with her tears.
Yeah.
Glenn, did you say you got a nat 20?
I got a nat 20.
There you go.
So Glenn, your character,
Malin.
realizes Malin understands that Tether's desert used to be, if the legend goes, was a forested, expansive, mix of just vegetation, grassland, forest. It was a beautiful oasis. And Tether, as punishment for capturing Auralia, his region was turned into a desert. So conceivably, when Millock says that he's remembering things that he can't have possibly been alive for, he remembers Tether's desert before it was a desert.
Yeah, so he's remembering things when the only magic that was done was by the 3 gods.
Yes.
Okay. That's fucking crazy.
And he hands the amulet to you, Abhorsen.
Okay. We lost Jake.
Like down.
Jake gone.
Jake gone. I accept the amulet from the wild-eyed soon to be druid.
Millock the half-orc.
Millock the half-orc. I accept the amulet from him.
Yep. So you hold the amulet. You don't necessarily feel anything in particular.
Double drag.
Does Millock seem to be coming to his senses?
Yeah, he's pretty much come to his senses. He's still got tears in his eyes. He gestures as if to suggest that you enter the circle.
Holding the amulet, I enter the circle.
All right. So Abhorsen, I'm not going to put her in there, but Abhorsen enters the Jake, are you with us? Abhorsen has gained the amulet and is entering the circle.
He forced it from Millock with a handgun. He's telling us all to stay cool as he backs into the circle.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry. I had to run to the bathroom and I came back and I was just totally disconnected. I don't know what happened. My bad.
Unacceptable. Don't let it happen again.
Yeah, please don't shit your pants.
Well, I'm going to now. Can't risk it.
There comes a point in every adult's life that they have to decide whether to shit their pants or not.
Is this lizard man even wearing pants?
Yeah.
Nah.
I'm naked.
Len being voiceless is great.
He's Winnie the Pooh in it. Just wearing a shirt. He's got a chainmail shirt and no pants on.
He's dressed like Tommy from the Rugrats.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm dressed like 51st Dates, the brother.
Oh, Sean Astin.
Yeah.
There you go. The white mesh practice jersey
Yeah.
and the Jokleys and the frosted tips.
You got it.
There he is.
So good.
All right. So, Abhorsen, you enter the circle.
I enter the circle.
And you enter into a vision. So this might be something, if you've ever gone on a vision quest, ever taken psychedelic drugs, you enter into a vision, and you are on the pinnacle of a bald, right? So a naked hill.
Mm-hmm.
And as you look around you, you see corpses all around, moving and writhing, and crawling their way towards you. And you reach to your head, and you are wearing a crown of vines. You appear to be ruling over a court of corpses.
Intense. Do I recognize this as a vision?
Yeah, you once you come out of it, it seems, real is a word, but it's just a
Yeah.
very realistic dream. You come out of it, you're not startled like, where am I? But you come out of it and you're like, whoa, it's like you were transported to another realm and having a very vivid dream.
Uh,
And those around Abhorsen, that took between a minute and 2 minutes. And
What was her, emotional reaction?
I mean, Ross kind of knows better than I would. I would make the assumption that pretty emotionless. But
yeah.
Ross' vision, would incur some sort of emotion in your body. I think you could explain that better than I could.
I this vision leaves me aghast. I'm not like shaken, but I've stared into the teeming masses of undead from a great height. Uh, it is, a fear and my sworn duty to prevent what I've seen. I share my revelation with the group, and I also note it was very different from the first revelation. And I
I
say,
hold up
I
my
don't,
hand and I say, puff, puff, pass, man.
I pass it on the left. I hand the amulet to Oz and say, keep your wits about you. We need a full report on what you see in that circle.
Never do, but we'll give it a shot.
So Oz, you kind of grasp the talisman and you enter the circle.
Yeah.
So we'll handle what everyone else sees a bit, but what you see is a strange vision. You see as if in some weird floating eye, as if you are some weird floating eye that sees 360 degrees around you. You see the mine tunnel you escaped from, but you see it branching impossibly underground into a strange tree root like network of tunnels underneath the druid walls.
They're in the fucking room, man.
As though roots are searching for water underneath the ground on which you stand.
I just look disappointed.
I love that.
I come out and I say, slavery flashbacks, man. I just saw the mine network. Like there's like more mine tunnels under us. Kind of lame.
What is your outward reaction to that when you were enraptured in the vision?
This.
Okay. Yeah, totally. Unaffected. Makes sense.
Give
who
me
do you-
the end. Give me the end.
I chuck it to Malin.
All right.
We'll see what a true warrior sees.
Malin, Glenn. Malin's gonna make of it what he will, but Glenn, you might actually be kind of stoked with this. So you enter the druidic circle, and enter into a vision, a very vivid like dream, and you see the Liege General Garam Mashau, the man who enslaved you and is currently leading the Catfolk campaign against the human empire. You see him burning at the stake, surrounded by all sorts of laughing creatures. Some have butterfly wings, some have bird faces, and deer and elk bodies. Essentially, what you might understand to be the legendary Fey creatures are laughing maniacally around in a circle around Liege General Garam Mashau burning.
Yeah. I come out Who hasn't had the amulet?
Skrunk has not had the
I
amulet, and Tiffery.
I don't know. Yeah, I throw it to Skrunk, and I just, with a smile on my face, say things will be restored to the right order.
I look at Strunk and I say, "You have no idea what's going on, do you?"
Not a clue.
uh, so if you take that talisman and you go stand in the middle of the rocks, you'll have a dream. And then you come out and you tell me what the dream is.
Okay.
And I said, I point at Millock and I say, he had a dream about geography. And then I point at Porson and say, she had a dream about dead people. And I point and I say, I had a dream about mining. And I point at Malin and I say, he had a dream. I don't know. He's a little edgelord.
Edgelord he is. I take the talisman in one hand and then I hold my bone charm in the other hand. And I walk into the circle.
As you're walking in, Tiffany is gonna quietly go, 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 go. As you enter the dream state.
All right, so Skrunk, you enter. How much do you think you expect, like you as a player, given what you've seen happen to some of the other characters? How much do you think you expect this? Like the kind of what's going to happen, given Oz's semi shitty explanation of it.
I think I I'm going into this having no clue that there's any correlation to any of these events. Like this general person, Skrunk doesn't know who that is, right? Like the mining tunnels, okay, yeah, we were in those. Um, but that's kind of about it. Skrunk is just like the corpses are that's something, like maybe I'm gonna see something like that. I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Okay, so pretty open-minded. So you go in there, and it appears it seems to you as if as soon as you enter the circle, you just fall into deep sleep. So what you see is your kind of third person eye, like viewing the forest that you are currently in. At least that's your best guess. This is a pretty unique looking, strange, magical forest. And you see the forest that you are currently in, and then it kind of zooms in like drone footage at the beginning of a movie, and you see a small woman. Have you ever seen a halfling before?
No.
So you see a woman that is like a child with a grown woman's face, but she is blindfolded. And at first, it seems that she's skipping through the forest. You're like, well, that's pretty weird. But as it zooms in closer, you realize that she has one hand out and she's kind of stumbling while simultaneously being led through this forest by some sort of unseen hand. And so you see a halfling woman being led through the forest of the Druid walls by an unseen hand.
Okay.
All right, and you pop back into existence. You made it further into the circle than you would have realized. You're kind of right in the middle. You pop back into existence as though you woke up, but you're standing. Yeah, that's what happens to you.
I tell Oz I was in this forest. I saw the body of a child with the head of a woman being led blindfolded by something unseen through these trees.
I said, so you saw a full-grown woman the size of a child
Yes.
being led through the forest.
Almost drug through the forest.
I look at the rest of the group and I say, he had a dream about Essingle Baker.
What is it?
Estigo Baker is the halfling woman who created all the maps.
Bacon, kind of funny.
Bacon? I'm sorry.
Yeah, bacon. No, it's all good. Bacon, like the meat cut.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's spelled different. But bacon. Yeah,
Bacon. I wasn't sure if that was an R or an N in
Sure.
my handwriting. But thank you, I'll make it clear.
it's a K.
Yeah, it's a K.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
K-E-N.
Essengale bacon. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Maybe Oz isn't perfect in his history lesson and he calls her Baker.
Yeah, Essengale Baker. I love that. I love that. And you don't know that's her. You just think it might be. So the last person left is Tipwee Plimpton.
So yeah, Skrunk comes out and takes your hands and gently like puts the talisman in your hands and closes your hands and just like gives you a little rub on your head and then stands aside.
Don't think, just go! And he just runs straight in. Okay.
So similar to Skrunk, as soon as you enter the circle, it is as though you fall into a deep sleep. And you see a vision, as if you are standing in front of the Conviction Stone. Have you ever been to the Conviction Stone? It's okay. It is.
Because it's in enemy territory, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. It is the grave marker of Cathar.
Yeah.
So that's your god. It is a pilgrimage to get there, but in war times, it's much less common to be able to go.
Yeah.
Especially for those from Elifax, which you ostensibly
I'm a minor noble. I got it then.
So you see a vision of the Conviction Stone, but it is not the normal Conviction Stone that you are used to seeing. It, as though struck by lightning, has been split in two, and one half of it is completely blackened, as though charred and burnt. And you wake up.
Oh, okay. I stumble out of the ring. I stumble out of the ring of stones, letting my
What and what did you look like when you were in there?
Prostrate, just very exposed, very vulnerable, like a loose jellyfish on the tide. Yeah. And I stumble out my pale white eraser colored body, and I flop to the ground, and I cry. And Ketha weeps for the land that's split in twain. The land is split in twain.
All right.
And I blubber that I saw the Conviction Stone, and it was split in half. And much like Northern Ralia, it is split in half.
So I went. Okay, so Milok kneels next to you, kind of puts his hand on your shoulder, looks up at the rest of you, and goes, "Shall we rest?"
Yes. Where's the
tavern? So do you desire a rest?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we need it.
I didn't mean to force the hand. It is 10 o'clock.
No, perfect.
Real quick, just to lead into the next one and get everybody excited, let's post some watches.
Okay.
Okay.
You have fucked my brain so much that in my head I was like, Breitling?
Breitling?
Wait, not the crowd.
Breitling?
Yeah.
Chronograph.
Yeah.
So who is taking third watch?
Aberhorsen will take third watch.
Okay. Abhorsen, I'm not even gonna have you roll anything.
Go on.
You see a come on. You see a silhouette, not really moving, just kind of slowly appearing in the middle distance, across a small stream next to this area right here. The camp next to a small stream. And standing across the stream is this creature that looks as though it is shrouded in roots. If you choose to approach it, it fades from existence.
You can't get close to it.
You cannot seem to get close to it. And if you do get close to it and then you back away, it doesn't reappear. It just fades if you approach.
That's why they call it a watch. It's not a walk. It's not an approach. It's a watch, dude. You just look at it.
And you can roll a nature or religion check upon seeing this.
Let's look with our eyes, not our hands.
Are we seeing this now? Or
Yeah.
are we seeing this? I will roll a knowledge religion check for a dirty 20.
Okay. So it gives you a similar feeling to the ominous kind of dark violation that pervaded the area when you first entered the 50-foot radius from where you had killed the creature.
Mm-hmm.
And you get the feeling as though this aura is following your group and somehow.
I see.
And with that, you all awake. And you awake very early in the morning, and the sun has not yet fully risen. And if you could all, as you kind of stretch and awake, give me perception checks.
Just bang. 12.
That is a full-on 4.
We got a 12, we got a 4,
Got a 9.
we got a 9.
Not the 12.
16.
There you
16.
go.
All right, so you, Mr. Strunk, see as you kind of open your eyes, you see a dull yellowish glow kind of in the forest across the stream. And your keen eyes know, especially given your recent capture, your keen eyes recognize this as the glow of lanterns.
Oh, but
As though there is a search party in the woods with you. And with that, we will end session 2 of the Northern Ralia campaign.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
They're after us, boys.
we love
We
that. We'll
Done
smoke it.
RUNFO RUNNOFT.
How much health do we regain on a rest?
100.
Yeah.
Okay. Whew.
You regain your level and hit points.
You guys got to get on the Tiffery plan. Do not get hit.
Well, I would have been fine, but like we still had the NPC level like health going into that, not like my character
Yeah.
health. So
Oh yeah. Yeah, totally.
Trevor, that was great, man.
Dope.
I have a quarter of the amount of sessions, so the intrigue has to happen in a condensed fashion.
You
Yeah.
fit in a bird puzzle.
You know what I mean? It's like, and then this happens, and then this happens, you
We're
know?
moving it along.
But it can't be just like bookkeeping session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no, hidden, any, what do you call it?
Are you about to criticize me right now?
No. No, like hidden meaning or anything. It's like, do you feel like you're not getting enough time? Do you want?
Oh, no. Not necessarily. I do feel like the way that I feel like a session moves forward is with quick pacing, because I feel like it needs to go from situation to situation. It's a common thread for me when I DM. It's just kind of like, it's like a sequence of
Check
events.
to make sure you're cool with our current,
Yeah.
rotation. Okay.
I want to keep the intrigue high. Partially because we only meet, once a month. So I want there to be like, ooh, yeah, we're doing this cool stuff, It's less of a long form thing. So
I just want to make sure you're not feeling like stifled or constricted or in any way
No, sir.
A couple things.
I don't have enough time to prep for one.
Bird puzzle.
Games are.
We're still recording.
Yeah, we are still recording. It's a bird.
One thing. Bird.
Sure. Bird puzzle.
Trevor,
That's great.
what's your like vision for this? Is this like is this going to be